Who doesn't like to have some fun? But sometimes fun can be, shall we say, dangerous. Sometimes there's just too much of a good thing. And then, what are we left to do? What can we do? Why, ban it, of course. We'll just ban it. Tonight, entertainment and other strange bands get deep. Fat fried.
Everybody, welcome to Deep Fat Fried. That's right.
I thought we agreed to change it to fried fat deep, TJ.
Did we?
Yeah. You said you were going to announce.
What was that shit people kept fucking calling our show when we first started and they didn't understand the concept of deep fat frying something? They were like, that doesn't even make sense. It's like, yeah, it is a cooking method. Deep fat frying is a cooking method, guys. Nuh-uh. It should be called deep fried fat. That makes more sense. It's like, no, you don't fry fat. You fry in fat. The fuckers are so goddamn inept. Fucking people idiot audience. Let me just say something. Let me just be real with you guys. You got a lot of YouTubers and other fucking entertainment people out there kissing your ass all the time. This is the only show you can come to for the fucking truth. You're a piece of fucking shit, okay? You're a piece of garbage. I don't have to fucking tell you, listen, you're fucking annoying. All the opinions you have that you think are so important don't matter. I realize all this stuff could be projected back onto me, but it would be wrong if you did that because I'm awesome. You suck.
Wow. What happened, TJ? Were you in an argument recently and on Twitter or something?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just feel like every now and then I feel like I need to tell them the truth, but now I can lie to them again. You guys are awesome. I'm just kidding.
I love you. Did I say a bad word about you?
No, the only thing ought to be banned.
YouTube for like 16 years. How long have you been doing YouTube? Fucking 15 years? I don't fucking know.
142 years.
That sounds about right.
The venom, dude.
That's what it feels like anyway. That's what it fucking feels like with these goddamn stupid motherfuckers. No, I love you guys.
Smart. These people are smart because they watch us.
Well, let me ask you this. Is this a pleb is this going to be a pleb episode or is this going to be a fucking patron episode? We don't really know when we shoot them. So if this is a patron episode, then I can see that there's an argument for the audience's intelligence. If this is a pleb episode, forget about it. They're dumb. They're dumb.
I mean, that is true.
You want to be
smart, they would be patrons.
Right. I mean, I know that even on the pleb episodes, a lot of our patrons watch those too, of course. So whatever. It's not like they fucking only watch the patron episodes. So, you know, if there's patron, if you're a patron, I'll grant you your intelligence because you're at least giving me money. So even if first of all, you've made a smart decision in your life by becoming a patron. And second of all, even if you're a fucking idiot, you've at least paid me money to lie to you and tell you that you're an intelligent person whose opinions are rational and make sense. So
are you paying me? Well, look, that opinion, normally I would say it was a stupid fucking opinion from a goddamn loser. But because you're giving me money, I actually like your opinion and take on it because it's unique or something. All right, thanks.
I mean, that's how humanity works, right?
On the N64 WWF game, I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was called, but there was a voice line that you could have called Jabroni, and it was
Jabroni.
It was pin me and pay me. That would be your guys.
Yeah, dude.
Pay me and pay me.
Yep.
The jobber line, man.
Yep.
I'll be a jobber.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes,
Dude, the life of a jobber is not that bad of a life, you know?
Sometimes you're a jobber, dude.
You just go around and get fucking squashed by fucking guys that are way tougher looking than you.
Pin me and pay me.
You know?
I love the way he said it, too. He said it just like that. Pin me and pay me. He's just like demanding. He's like, come fuck me up and give me my money.
You want
Beat the fucking shit on me. Just as long as I get paid, god damn it. Give me some fucking money.
That's what a jobber's. That's what all they need to do.
This is capitalism, bitch. Pay me my motherfucking money.
Yeah, they didn't get paid shit, dude. They probably got paid like fucking $10 and a fucking sandwich.
That's enough.
It's like cost them $5.
That's enough. But you know what they did do, though, Scotty? You get that money. That's enough to go pay for your fucking little Motel 6 for the night. And that's enough to fucking go to the fucking the ugliest bitch in the crowd and be like, hey, you see me in the show? Why don't you come down back to my motel room, baby? all the fucking A-list stars in the fucking show sleeping with the hot chicks in the crowd, but you get that fucking ugly. You fuck enough twos, that adds up. That adds up.
Well, yeah. I mean, what is it? Like 5 twos is a 10.
Yeah, that's George Carlin fucking shit. You know, he said he never fucked a 10, but one night he fucked 5 twos, and that's just that. That might even be better. Well, that's fine, you know.
I mean, some people have a quality approach and some people have a quantity approach. If you have the quantity approach, I mean, then you're going to go with the twos.
Cast a wide net.
What would you rather have? A fucking bite of filet mignon every now and again, or hamburgers for life? Come on. Come on.
I think you know what I'm choosing.
Come on. Come on. You know what you need to do, TJ? You need to get fired up for this episode, dude.
All right. Well, fire me up.
Man.
You're fucking supposed to be the hype man on this motherfucker. Why don't you fucking get me fired up? Move me, Scotty. Move. It's always your job. It's your episode.
Move. Oh, TJ, I think you're revealing what animal you are. Move me, Scotty.
Move.
Scotty, you know what?
Remember that one, TJ?
What?
You know what to do. You know what to do with me, Scotty. Pin me and pay me.
Pin me and pay me.
It's all same thing you would fucking say if you were a gay porno actor too. So,
yeah, it's true.
Pin me and pay me.
Pin me and pay me. All right, come on. I'm gay for pay. Just fuck whatever. $2,000. I'm ready.
Whips out his dick. It's like, oh, I'm gonna need a little more. Holy shit! Jesus Christ! Fuck, you been fucking taking, man.
What you been eating, boy? Oh no.
Fuck
You guys
that.
recognize this
like,
movie here?
No. What movie?
No,
is
I've never
this?
seen it. Never heard of it.
Seen it. Never.
I believe I might have heard of it. The Exorus. Something.
You know, I had to look this up online.
Yeah, how's that
Fuck
pronounced?
this up, guys. Oh, fuck. Guys, I'm drawing a blank here. I'm sorry.
Oh, I get it. So it's called The Exorcist. So it's about a guy that has to choose between his ex-girlfriend or his cyst, and it's a tough choice for him. It's like Sophie's Choice almost.
Ex or cyst, yeah. So you got the movies about TJ.
Yeah, this is I mean, The Exorcist is obviously one of the fucking great horror movies of all time and shit, and you know. Linda Blair, fucking awesome in that. Special effects, makeup, great. I mean, horror movies really used to be the trailblazing movies for fucking special effects, if we're honest.
I mean, this movie was regarded as like people would like faint in the theater.
Yeah.
Like, you know, send an ambulance. Have an ambulance on standby.
I mean, a lot of movies around that time were fucking trying to get that gimmick across, you know? Like, every fucking horror movie was like, oh my God. You know, they like, so you have to sign a waiver before you watch the terrifying horror. But like, this one actually seemed to kind of deliver on the premise a lot. There was like people literally crying in movie theater lobbies because, you know, a lot of these, you know, there's a horror movie with like some giant space mutants or some bullshit. People just go, made up bullshit. But a lot of people are actually dumb enough and gullible enough to believe in the devil and believe in like the concept of shit like possession. So a lot of people watch this movie like, oh my God, this could really happen. It's so scary. It's true.
It's scary. Oh, I know you're right. I mean, people lose their minds over like even movies that have been totally faked, like the Blair Witch Project. People are like that really happened. I remember when I was a kid, dude, like,
you know the worst thing,
lost in the woods.
You know the worst thing, The Exorcist.
Scared the shit out of me.
You know the worst thing, The Exorcist. Oh, Paul, you almost got your fucking ass killed because of The Exorcist by your mom.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
She avoided seeing it when it came out because she was so scared of like demons and shit. And then my dad dragged her to it at the drive-in after I was like 2 or something. And I used to do this thing when I was a kid. I'd have a nightmare, but I would be afraid to wake my parents up, so I'd just stand next to their beds. And my mom woke up, and I was standing next to her, like next to her bed, and she grabbed me and flipped me onto the bed. Like had a total like fight or flight reaction and almost killed me.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
What the fuck, dude?
She thought I was the devil, dude. I can't blame her.
Satan is here! Ah!
Dude, and you know what the fucked up thing is? You know what the fucked up thing is?
She was right. She was right.
You know, the worst thing about The Exorcist, though, is all of the terrible movies that it spawned. Because, you know, how many movies? There's like so many, like The Exorcism of Emily Rose, The Exorcism of Tabitha, whatever. You know, like they all these Exorcism of movies. They got all these. They got a shit. There's so many. The Exorcist has been ripped off like an insane amount of times. Like you couldn't even fucking begin to like chronicle all the fucking times The Exorcist has been ripped off, and almost all of them are terrible. And in fact, all of the sequels to The Exorcist, in my opinion anyway, are terrible. I know that there's defenders of Exorcist 3, but I'm not one of them. So
They can die on that hill, dude. I'm not really interested in it. I'll be honest.
The only like,
Exorcist 3 is great. Man.
I watched one of those movies recently. It was a Netflix. No. It was a Shudder original called The Cleansing Hour. Mm-hmm. And it's about a dude that is like he's a fake priest, and he puts on these fake live streams where everybody's an actor. But then one day it's not fake, but the live stream is still running, dude.
All right. So here's the thing. Anyone who's out there who's a writer or like a storyteller of any kind, the whole idea of like the skeptic or the charlatan that then finds out that all the stuff he's been talking about is real. Like,
yeah,
that needs to go. That's done. All right.
I don't know what you're talking about, TJ.
It's been explored. It's been done. It does like, it's not going to be good anymore. Like every
I've never seen a film like it. I've never seen a film like it, TJ. Never seen a plot line like it.
I
blew me away.
I hate the fucking, I don't know which one I hate more. I hate the charlatan that finds out that the thing he's lying about is real. That's a bad trope. But I think even worse is like the skeptic who's like, I don't believe in this nonsense.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're always skeptical for way longer than any real person would be. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You know what, TJ? You might not believe in God, but you know what? Something about
See, they try to reverse it where it's like the skeptic is the fucking idiot because it's like they're the ones who aren't looking at the evidence or something. But it's like in real life, none of that shit's going on. Like if there's like ghosts and shit, like I'm a fucking ghost. No one's gonna be like, I don't believe in that. At that point, it'd be like, I don't believe in trees or something. Because, like, if you could fucking see it and it's there and it's having an effect on your life, of course you believe in it at that fucking point.
I don't believe it.
Problem is, even when people see ghosts, it's like, oh, I saw a ghost out of the corner of my eye. It was a fucking Civil War soldier. Like, anyway, sorry.
Dude,
go ahead.
That's just going on the path of the truth that usually is self-evident with these things. Like, if it was readily available that ghosts were real, there'd be no reason to doubt them.
Well, Sky, tell us about banned shit. So what's the fucking, why is The Exorcist up here? What was it banned? I'm assuming it was.
Throughout much of the 80s and 90s, there were 2 films. We're actually talking about another film. Actually, this one I didn't expect you guys to talk about as much, but I guess you had a lot to say about it. That's cool with me. Where, of course, in the UK, you cannot get these films, which was The Exorcist and A Clockwork Orange, which pretty much arguably 2 of the highest profile films for that time for VHS. Like,
weirdly
really
enough,
to get the hand.
Weirdly enough, I watched A Clockwork Orange just night before last, so fresh in my mind.
Actually, I did as well.
Whoa,
weird coincidence. I guess like the.
I think it just landed on Netflix or something.
That's what it is. I'm sure.
So
yeah.
we probably just both. Oh, Clockwork. Yeah.
Well, Taylor went to sleep, so I can actually watch it because she does not like A Clockwork Orange.
Why not? Is it all the fucking weird slang that's hard to follow?
The Nadstat sort of like the Russian, weird mix of like Cockney and Russian and all these like the Droog. Like she starts hearing that and she goes like, bit of pain in the Gulliver. And she's like, nope, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Speak fucking English. I can't understand this fucking movie.
Dude, I watched it for the first time. So I've watched A Clockwork Orange a number of times, but I've watched it for the first time with subtitles. So I could actually read what the fuck was being said. Because like when I was previously when I've watched it, it's just been like, about 30% of the dialogue just lilts in the grummity brump goblin schnickpick. It's like, I don't know. But actually being able to read everything, it helped a little bit. Because, you can kind of figure out what shit means. Sometimes it takes a few, sometimes it takes a little while.
That is completely true. But of course, even though these are two huge films, you couldn't get them on VHS in the UK.
So let me try to think of what. Did you pull why?
The Exorcist, I know why, and I also know why with The Clockwork Orange. Now, The Clockwork Orange will be more surprising to you than The Exorcist, I feel.
Well, I feel like with The Exorcist, what was it? Probably because they just think it was too disturbing in a general sense, or is there some specific reason?
Okay,
Blasphemy.
so that might have factored into it, and it probably did.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's fucking super pro-Catholic as a movie, and the guy that made it is like super wanted to extol Catholicism. I mean, it's like all about fucking sucking the church's cock. So, I mean, I don't really see how it'd be blasphemous.
Well,
an 11-year-old girl fucks herself with a crucifix in the movie.
Right, but that's like to show like the demonic power of Satan, which the Catholic Church is then the remedy to.
And you really aren't in the mindset of the religious nut, are you, TJ?
Well, the movie was made by a religious nut.
But that's the thing. You're not giving enough credit to the hypocrisy and stupidity of the religious nut.
Mm.
Even though the movie is clearly one of the most pro-Catholic films ever to exist,
For sure.
It contains suicide. It contains blasphemy of every fucking type.
Right.
The taking of the Lord's name in vain doesn't even begin to cover it.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty fucking
of the
crazy.
youth. You don't show that type of shit.
But it's
you don't
all
show that type of shit, TJ.
It's all depicted as, I mean, none of it's
Doesn't
depicted
matter.
as like glamorous or anything. It's all depicted as bad stuff that then is purged by the good and power of
TJ,
God. So.
these are the same kind of people that get offended by Harry Potter and say it's like,
Right,
it's
but
made to promote witchcraft.
At least with Harry Potter, it's like, oh, they're glamorizing witchcraft. Like the Exorcist isn't doing any of that.
TJ, they're not looking for the message there, though.
They're not
looking at
glamorizing
this-
Satan. They're glamorizing the Catholic Church's power to defeat Satan.
Sure, but that would mean having a nuanced opinion on it.
Right.
I think what Paul is getting at is that these people are not taking a nuanced look and going, well, let me evaluate this fairly. They're just going, this is offensive. Oh, this is immoral. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, they're desecrating the cross in the movie. Oh, this is terrible. We can't have this. I'm definitely sure there was. I mean, I know for a fact there were people that felt that way about The Exorcist.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
Well, I'm doing my own
independent
independent research here, and I see that you guys are right. There was a lot of Christians that were very much against the movie. So
Yes,
Of course
there
there
were,
were.
dude. Yeah.
which to
Instead
me,
of being mad about rock music, TJ,
Yeah.
they just didn't get it, so it was bad and evil, and it's like, oh, it's gonna anything to corrupt the youth, anything to make them not good little
yeah, I mean,
drones.
but like with everything
You know how
else,
it is.
like with stuff like rock music and stuff, I get it because it really is glamorizing stuff that Christians don't like. The Exorcist is totally on their side and reinforcing their messaging. So I don't know why.
But not an obvious way. It's not obvious enough to them.
Let me ask you a question, TJ.
Sure.
Your average person goes and sees The Exorcist. What are
Yeah.
they coming out of the movie theater talking to their friends about?
Man, that fucking crazy dude, you see when her head fucking spinning around and I puked on that
There you
shit.
go.
That was
That's all you-
fucking
that's-
crazy, dude.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, you're right.
They glorified the enemy in depicting him.
So, Scotty, tell us a little bit more about why it was banned, huh?
Certainly. So, of course, when you ban something, a black market comes up. So, as they were banned, there was kind of an under-the-counter industry going on of poor quality copies. Big business, of course. Well, many cinemas traded off late night shows of The Exorcist where the film could be still seen freely. So you could display it in theaters as long as I believe you were above 18. So you had to be over 18. You could see the film in theaters still.
So it was banned from home video release or
yes.
like any
so
sort of like,
not on VHS. Warner Brothers opted in the midst and aftermath of the Video Nasty scandal in the UK, which was like something about certifying films. So it's basically amounts to censorship. You know, they were saying, hey, you can only release the film if you censor it. And obviously a lot of filmmakers, I think, felt strongly like, no, I don't want to censor my work.
Yeah.
It was probably wise not to do so, given the chance of actually getting a certificate for home release were very slim. So in its original form, there's almost no chance at all. So they basically opted out, like, there's no point. If we can't get it certified, why even bother trying to? So by not submitting it at all, The Exorcist would thus never be banned. So it's kind of like a self-ban, if you really look at it. I mean, like, they didn't get it banned officially, but you couldn't buy it there legally. You could go see it at a theater, or you could go over to like Paris or Amsterdam and see it there. But in the UK, you cannot buy it on VHS. As it happened, it wasn't until 1999 that the film finally was submitted for such a certificate and was passed uncut with an 18 rating.
I see.
So yeah, people that saw The Exorcist in theaters to get it on home video in the UK had to wait about what year did it come out? Do you guys know? Was it 19?
It was
70, late 70s for The Exorcist. I think 70, 78, 79 maybe. Hold on, might have been
about
earlier.
20 years. About 20 years to get it on VHS.
Let's see.
Finally.
I'm gonna go look this up real quick. The Exorcist was from
77.
77.
77. 22 years.
Oh shit, 73.
Oh, 73?
Yeah.
Are you serious, dude? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
73. Release date December 26th,
years,
1773. So it was released the day
73?
Sorry, 1973. This movie's ancient.
How the fuck is that a movie that old?
And that's BC.
Oh my god!
No, it was actually released the day after Christmas. That's fucking weird.
Christmas in BC? Holy shit!
Being the adventures of a young man whose principal interests are rape, ultraviolence, and Beethoven. It's a very specific and I don't know if it's a good tagline, but
Fun fact about this.
It does pop a little.
In the UK, this time they had called these quad posters. You guys may have seen them or may know what I'm talking about. Yep. I found one for this one. I'm not sure if it's this particular version of the poster, but one of them, $4,000.
Very expensive to get like contemporary Clockwork Orange merchandise of any kind. Like any kind of like shit that was released as promotional material for this is going to cost a fucking assload.
Yes.
But you can get cool ass movie posters of it still for pretty cheap. But
oh yeah,
if you want the real deal, you won't pay.
You're definitely gonna pay. So, A Clockwork Orange was released in the United States, Germany, France, Italy, Japan, and Australia, where it met relatively little trouble from censors. It obviously got an R rating in the U.S., or if that didn't exist at the time, whatever the most stringent rating is, but it largely got to be released. But it was banned in South Africa and Brazil, and there were difficulties with censorship in Argentina, who insisted on cuts. The British Board of Film Censorship, which I guess at least is honest about what its name is, what it's doing, as it was known until 1984, I guess when they realized, like, oh, well, doesn't sound good, issued a certificate for A Clockwork Orange on December 15th, 1971. Although the board did not demand any cuts should be made, the award of an X certificate meant that the film could only be exhibited to people over the age of 18, which obviously severely limits the market for people you can show the film to. That would have been the end of the story as far as British cinema audiences were concerned, but for the existence of two little-known acts of Parliament: the cinematographer, the Cinematograph Acts of 1909 and 1952.
Cinematograph.
Yeah, cinematograph. That's why I was messing up. I was thinking of different words, but no, that's how you say it. Which empowered local authorities.
Anyway, I could be fucking wrong, but that sounds good.
Which empowered local authorities to prevent the screening of inflammatory films at the discretion of town councilors. So it's like a local ordinance, basically. Basically the local people in an area can go. Like, so let's say like here where we are, like New Orleans area. It's like New Orleans could revoke a film. Like this film legally can't be shown.
The history of censorship of movies. When you try to censor a movie, you've basically just made that movie like 10 times cooler for the rest of time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you've indelibly fucking made that movie, like you've given it a rep now. Like the fact that like, hey, this movie is so crazy that there's people who don't want you to see it. There's people who have like literally like done stuff to try to stop you from seeing it. Every fucking contrarian on the face of the earth now wants to see your fucking movie.
Which one of you wants to read is Dr. Louis L. Sack?
Louis L. Sack? All right. Make it a little bigger and I'll do it. Enlarge, enhance. All right, whatever. Stanley Kubrick's movie, A Clockwork Orange, is a nauseous, revolting, despicable depiction of a man as a two-legged beast, lusting for depraved sex, sadism, violence, destruction, and murder. In a wasteland generation wherein man is mired in a moral morass, may all of our societal sources restore to mankind cosmic meaning and holiness, so that through the sublimation of his instinctual drives, he be enabled to achieve salvation, redemption, and that wholeness befitting a child of God.
Wow. That is a lot of sanctimony.
I know. That might be the most sanctimonious, virtue signally, performative, pious fucking paragraph that I've ever fucking seen, witnessed, read, or heard of.
Right now,
he literally sounds like a character from the fucking movie that Alex then like bludgeons to death with a fucking dildo or something. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Get your head out your ass, buddy. He's probably dead by now, thankfully.
Almost certainly. So what's more interesting here? But behind A Clockwork Orange's unavailability.
Also, you know why that guy's like that? Because his last name is Sack.
Your name, baby, Louis Sack, but you're lousy in the sack. Baby.
You got no sack, you little pussy.
I mean, I have to assume that based on this letter. If you write a letter like this, that means like you're not doing any of these things.
All I hear is basically, wah.
So do you guys know why you couldn't get A Clockwork Orange in the UK? Do you know the reason behind this?
I'm going to, I don't know, dude. I would guess the sexuality, the rape scene.
I feel like they thought that it glorified Alex's like lifestyle choices and stuff, and they probably feel like maybe it was like an endorsement of the sorts of criminal behaviors he was doing. Like they thought it was going to create like make people want to go out and commit rape and murder and shit.
Both very good answers. So interestingly enough, when I found this out, this kind of was like, okay, I heard this story, but digging deeper into it was very interesting why. So while The Exorcist was staring down the barrel of an official ban, A Clockwork Orange was never banned in the UK at all either. Moreover, it hadn't been explicitly threatened with one of for VHS release. So there's not even plans at that point. It wasn't like, oh, we have this on VHS, we want to put this out. Instead, the reason A Clockwork Orange was pulled from UK cinemas in 1973 and was not officially seen in the UK again for over 25 years was due to the director, Stanley Kubrick himself.
Okay.
So Kubrick, in essence, pulled the movie. He asked Warner Brothers to pull it from the UK.
Okay.
Which, when I found that out, I was like, I thought for sure it was like, okay, there's some censorship or, there's some artistic vision. It's really just more him just making a decision. And there's actually I pulled a really long quote from him.
So why did he do it?
Discussing it. We're going to get to that in a minute. Upon the film's release in 1971, it didn't take long for the film A Clockwork Orange to stir controversy. Based on the novel by Anthony Burgess, the movie, of course, stars Malcolm McDowell as Alex DeLarge,
Best role is fucking career, by the way.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's true. But the film earned good notoriety in March of 1972 when it was cited by a prosecutor in a court case. A 14-year-old had been accused of manslaughter. Okay. And the prosecution argued that the film, A Clockwork Orange, had relevance to the case. The film was linked with further cases too, with many, quote, copycat crimes reported. Of course, the media doing what it does, started gathering sort of like some steam around, like, yeah, this movie is causing violence to happen.
Right.
It got to the point where protests were mounted, at times outside of Kubrick's family home. The director himself was taken aback. Kubrick argued that pinning violence on the film was incorrect, stating aside of the debate that reared its head several times in the history of cinema. So, of course, this has happened over and over again. We still have this argument today that, we saw a violent movie or video game, so therefore the violence that happened in the real world was a direct cause of that video game. If the child had never seen the violence in the video game or the movie, they never would have done it themselves. We've all heard it.
Yeah. Right. The typical, I mean, it's a pretty basic censorship argument. I'm like, the relationship between, violence in media and violence in reality is a complicated one. I happen to think, and I mean, like, really, there's no definitive answers on this. So it really just does come down to like opinion at this point. I think there could be answers at some point, maybe. But as far as I can tell, I don't think anybody who's like a non-violent person could watch something that's violent and then do violence just because of that. I guess if you're someone who's at risk, maybe something like that could push you over the edge, but I don't think that that's a good enough cause to censor art.
Well, we actually have a piece of correspondence that kind of gives you an idea of like when someone actually took action against the film. So this is a piece of correspondence from 1973. It was a letter sent by recorded delivery to a cinema in Hastings from the town hall on February 7th, 1973. The town clerk of Hastings, Mr. D.J. Taylor, wrote as follows. I am instructed to give you notice in pursuance of condition number 13 of the license which you hold under the Cinematograph Acts in respect of the name above premises and the film entitled A Clockwork Orange shall not be exhibited in the premises of the respective grounds that, if exhibited, it would A, offend against good taste or decency, B, be likely to encourage or incite to crime or lead to disorder, C, be offensive to public feeling.
Public feeling?
But like, see, yes. The public feeling one is the one I hate the most, because like the public, as far as any particular movie is concerned, there is no such thing as the public feeling.
There's a diversity of opinion.
Right.
Of course.
Because if you show Clockwork Orange to a fucking room full of like 100 random people, you're going to have fucking a lot of fucking opinions.
This is the Twitter tempest in a teapot argument just back in the 70s. So there's a bunch of pearl clutchers that get together and they're a vocal minority. They're just like, oh, and then somebody points and goes, look, public sentiment. It's like, wait, what about all the people that are just fucking chilling in their houses right now and couldn't give a fuck less about the moralizing bullshit? How many more of those are there? Oh, no. Public sentiment. Look at it there. Group of people screaming their heads off. The public must feel this way.
But of course.
It's just one of the tools. The one in the tool belt that fucks me off the worst, and it's no worse than any of the other ones, religious censorship. It's the one like the kids can't see it. And it's just like, when did it become my job to fucking like put aside my adult whims for your child? Isn't it your job to keep your kid from watching shit you don't want them to watch? You believe that video games cause violence. Guess who has 100% control over that child till they're 18? You. Take the fucking thing away. Don't let them watch the goddamn thing. If they keep watching it, take away their fucking TV. If they keep watching it, take away their phone. Like, why am I involved in your parenting? Why am I like, I can't go get the video game because your kid might get it? Fuck you. That's the worst one for me. But they all suck. It's all the same bullshit. Oh, my religion. Well, what about people like me that don't subscribe to your religion? Don't we get whatever we want? No. Because no.
Having some Megatron, Paul. No, we're offended. How dare you?
If you're religiously offended by this, couldn't you just not watch it? No. None must see it. It's like, what?
It's because they're not having a good time doing their bullshit. So they definitely don't want you to be having a good time.
Right.
Sad, man. So, Kubrick actually there's a great quote from him, and it's pretty long. So he was speaking with journalist Michael Cement, and Kubrick said this. No one is corrupted watching A Clockwork Orange any more than they are by watching Richard III. The film has been accepted as a work of art, and no work of art has ever done social harm. Though a great deal of social harm has been done by those who sought to protest society against works of art, which they regarded as dangerous. There has always been violence in art. There is violence in the Bible, violence in Homer, violence in Shakespeare. And many psychiatrists believe that it serves as a catharsis rather than a model. I think the question of whether there has been an increase in screen violence, and if so, what effect this has had, is to a very great extent a media-defined issue. I know there are well-intentioned people who sincerely believe that films and TV contribute to violence, but almost all of the official studies of this question have concluded that there is no evidence to support this view. At the same time, I think the media tend to exploit the issue because it allows them to display and discuss so-called harmful things from a lofty position of moral superiority. But the people who commit violent crime are not ordinary people who are transformed into vicious thugs by the wrong diet of films or TV. Rather, it is the fact that violent crime is invariably committed by people with a long record of antisocial behavior or by unexpected blossoming of a psychopath who is described afterwards as having been such a nice, quiet boy, but his entire life is later realized has been leading executively to the terrible moment, and who would have been found ostensibly, and would have found the final ostensible reason for his action if there had not been another one, or if not in one thing, then another. In both instances, immensely complicated social, economic, and psychological forces are involved in the individual's criminal behavior. The simplistic notion that films or TV can transform an otherwise innocent and good person into a criminal has strong overtones of the Salem witch trials. This notion is further encouraged by criminals and their lawyers who hope for mitigation through this excuse. And he goes on and on and on. But I felt that gives you the thrust of how he feels about this.
So basically just, I'm a reasonable fucking person who has the ability to look at like the truth and not
Scotty
tales about how people are made into criminals.
So Scotty, is there room in this part of the script for like a digression here? Related digression.
Oh, I don't care.
Well, I don't know. Some episodes there's like a lot of information to go through, and it's pretty dense and stuff. And I know we're not too deep into this, and we're already at 37 minutes. I didn't want to fucking throw it off the rails, but
no, I don't care.
I guess I just the question I had for you, I guess, since you pulled this episode, is so let's say that there was a confirmed relationship between violent media and real life violence. Like, okay, first the studies come out, the fucking methodology is sound, it's exhaustive, it's a fucking big, very fucking well done study. And it shows that there is a relationship, right? Would at that point we say, okay, well, I guess, maybe we do need some censorship? Because I feel like I would still make the argument of no. I mean, like, there's lots of stuff we do that we know can result in fucking death, alcohol, cigarette. There's lots of vices like that. So
it depends on the fucking severity of the societal impact, right? Like if the world turned into a murder spree because there was a direct correlation between violent
I mean,
media,
Obviously, the correlation is not that strong because it would just be obvious if it was
you're
like
basically
that.
coming down to how much liberty can you give people, and if you can establish something harmful about some liberty that someone has, like it could be drinking, it could be smoking, it can be violence.
I mean, like
where do you draw the line?
I mean, we have this argument about the subject of guns, right? We have this argument about the subject of drugs. We have this argument about the sake of freedom of speech even. It's like, at what point, like how much harm are we willing to fucking tolerate for the sake of this liberty? And I don't know, I usually find myself leaning very much more towards the liberty side than the repercussion side.
I mean, for me, it depends, honestly. Like, once again, like what's lost and what's gained by banning something? You know what I mean? And, if there was some kind of direct correlation between this kind of media and otherwise normal people doing horrible, violent things, I think I'd probably have a different fucking outlook on it. I don't know that banning it would be my first instinct, but I also don't know that I'd be laissez-faire about, whatever. You know what I mean? Right. I mean, if you can draw a direct line between the shit that people consume in media and people's lives being ended in horrible, violent ways. You know what I mean?
Well, let me try to fucking create more specificity in this then. So let's say the study showed not that it could take normal everyday people and transform them into fucking raging psychopaths, but let's say that, violent movies could be demonstrated to increase violent impulses in people. And in the cases of people who are already on an edge, can actually trigger violent, outbursts.
That much has been demonstrated, hasn't it? That much is already known to science and psychology, right? Like people that are already frayed at the edges when exposed to certain things can become obsessed with them and can act them out in physical reality.
I mean, that's true. But the question, I guess, then is like, so let's say you got a guy that's on edge. He's like a psychopath or something, and he watches fucking Joker, since that was the one that everyone was so scared of a while back. He watches Joker and he's like, wow, the Joker, he's got it figured out. I'm going to do a big grandiose gesture of violence to fucking make my voice heard like the Joker.
Right.
Like if he watches that movie and decides that's what he wants to do, is that the movie's fault, or was he already going to do some kind of violent outburst, but that just gave him a focus for it? So I think that question still remains there.
Well, that's what you'd have to prove. And I mean, even then,
and I don't know how you fucking study that even, because it's something that's like so internal.
I think we've already studied it. I mean, it's so here's the thing. It's so rare. So you find these guys, what was that dude's name? That fucking painted his hair up like the Joker and shot up a theater and was found to be obsessed with.
Was that what was that?
You know who I'm talking about.
He shot it. It was a Colorado guy.
Right, Colorado theater shooter. It was years ago.
Yeah, he shot up the Dark Knight Rises, I think.
Jared Lee Loughner.
Jared Lee Loughner.
I'm seeing James Holmes.
Or James Holmes. That is.
Yeah, or he was the 2012 Aurora, Colorado shooter. Killed 12 people in the Century 16 movie theater on July 20th, 2012. So 8 years back.
It becomes an argument. It becomes a circular argument because like as it stands right now, you would have to posit in order to make this something that I would have to think about, like, okay, should we ban this? That's why I brought up the whole like turning otherwise peaceful people into fucking psychopaths thing, because this whole like somebody living on the ragged edge of sanity already coming across, it's as old as the fucking hills.
Right.
You know what I mean? It might have been something as innocuous back in the day before movies as seeing a fucking play like Richard III, like fucking Kubrick invoked, where there's murder and plotting, and that sows a seed in their mind.
I mean,
how many be successful in doing it? But how many people actually do that? A minuscule amount of people are ever using these kind of things. And then the argument has to be made, well, was it the movie or the person? Right. And obviously, to me, it's the person, what they chose. I mean, people choose absurdly nonviolent things to become obsessed with and kill people over.
Yeah.
I become obsessed with certain celebrities and try and kill them or try and hurt them. So this, I think we're already standing at that point right now where we know that there are a tiny number of psychopaths living among us that are maybe just waiting for the right piece of media to come along to inspire them to try it out. And I think we've already made a decision as a people that we're willing to take that chance, that it's not worth, those 0.001% of humanity that might apply to deny it to everybody else. It's the same thing with drugs and alcohol. Like the prohibition of anything has to be run through the grist of the mill, like, because human beings are going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
So if you ban violent movies in the current day and age, then it's going to go underground. People are going to start making indie violent films, and it's going to be court cases. That people are never going to stop it. So is banning this type of thing even possible, I think, is a better question.
Well, I mean, like I said before, it seems like most of the time censorship seems to result a lot of times in just giving movies a reputation and in enhancing their fucking street credibility with people, especially who want to see something that's subversive and counterculture.
I mean, we've talked before about schlock movies that use this false censorship narrative to paint a picture of the movie they don't want you to see.
Even if no one really actually gives a shit and their movie's not even no one even cares about their movie, like it didn't even rile anybody up, they still try to market it, back in those grindhouse days. Because that's what the whole thing is, there were places that showed this is dangerous movie. These this is where you're going to see the shit society don't approve of.
Fire kind of thing. If people want it banned, it must be good. There must be something crazy in it.
Well, it's not only that, but I think there's a strong streak of contrarianism, especially in America, for fuck's sake. This is a very contrarian fucking place. And I think that a lot of people, if you tell them you're not allowed to see something, they want to see it just on principle.
Oh, that's human nature, dude. Tell a
there's
kid,
there's a strong streak of contrarianism just in the human animal.
I agree.
We're going to search out what we want and we're going to do it. You know what I mean? The role of the law should be to provide a framework for that so that people don't get hurt. Other than the people choosing to fucking participate in it willingly.
I mean, think about what you hear in this is a common thing you hear about celebrities. They told this band they'd never make it, and now they have 15. That band was the Eagles, who had 83 #1 fucking hits. People love that story. There's something that people if you tell someone they can't do something or they're going to fail or that, some people just end up being failures because that's just the law of averages. But some people, of course, achieve this immense success. And I mean, look, in regards to this, to me, I think Kubrick was just look, I think you just honestly felt if it's going to be this much of a big fucking deal, then fuck all of you guys. I don't care. The movie just can't you know what? You're just not going to be able to see the movie here.
You feel like it was kind of just an example of all right, if you little babies can't handle my fucking movie, then.
Yeah, I really honestly believe that because, well, let's get to the next part. Kubrick, though, decided to act. When the film had completed its theatrical run in the UK in early 1973, he asked Warner Brothers to withdraw the film from circulation altogether. The studio agreed, although for over half a decade, no one really cared or noticed. This was the pre-video age, of course. It was only in 1979, when the National Film Theatre was refused permission to screen it as part of its retrospective of Kubrick's work, that the withdrawal came to attention for the first time. So no one even really knew about it for years. It was just one of those things where it was no, just can't, that film's not out. Can't get it.
There were a lot of movies that were like that, honestly, in the home media era.
Oh, you never knew when, even when I was a kid, you never knew when someone was going to come on video. Some movies took years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember you'd go to fucking, people are so spoiled for it now because it's whatever, just instant almost. A lot of times this is fucking instant now. A movie just comes out on fucking every platform at once, or it comes out on obviously there's nothing even open theatrically right now, but even, then it was a month or two later, it's on fucking demand and shit. But I remember when I was a kid, movie come in theaters, you'd want to see that shit again on fucking home video or something. And it was you'd be going to the Blockbuster fucking, sometimes they would announce the date 3 months in advance, and it'd be fucking a year or more after the movie had fucking left theaters. So, it took fucking forever to see a movie again. But, it was kind of cool because you actually fucking wow, it's a whole other second release date for the fucking movie, But that's kind of been lost. But ultimately, I'll choose the convenience. So,
of course, that's why that model went out. So if people felt differently, TJ, there'd still be blockbusters. But that's all it really was. Kubrick, without explanation, asked for the film to be taken out of circulation. And because people couldn't get a hold of it in Britain, the myth began to spread that it had been banned. But, of course, it hadn't. Warner Brothers continued to work with Kubrick for the rest of his life and continued to accept his wishes for A Clockwork Orange as far as A Clockwork Orange were concerned. So
wow.
fine with it. They're like,
you know what the fucking weirdest part about that story is to me is not even Kubrick deciding to self-censor in that market. The weirdest part to me is that, like, Warner Brothers respected his wishes.
I mean, he was Stanley Kubrick.
I mean, yeah, but
dude,
fucking...
I think they realized, this is not a guy you just go, hey, Stanley, no, we're going to put it out.
It's just weird. I'm like, it's just weird to fucking think of a studio actually respecting a fucking someone's like personal vision or whatever.
When you're the goose that laid the golden egg over and over and over again, you pretty much get to dictate terms.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
so beautiful.
Very few people ever rise to that level, but the ones what do.
All right, here, if you want to understand why, all right, TJ, name someone that could replace Stanley Kubrick, and those movies would have been the same.
Okay. No.
There you go. That's why Stanley Kubrick can get a movie pulled and never released again, because he was Stanley Kubrick.
You could watch his movies on fucking mute. They're that fucking good. Like, they're just shot like every frame of painting kind of shit, you know?
Yep.
Completely and utterly agree with you. It took until March 2000 for the film to return legally to British screens. I guess finally in 2000, the British people finally were like, we're over that shit. Show the movie. Shortly after the death of Kubrick, who passed away days after locking his final cut of his last film, Eyes Wide Shut, Warner Brothers finally applied for a certificate for the film, and it was granted. So, I mean, he was pretty much dead. You know what I mean? Like, he had to be dead for them to say, okay, he's dead. We've respected his wishes long enough. And that really shows you they're itching to do it, dude. The minute he was like,
of course they were.
Like, put that out.
Put it out.
Sometimes that's a good thing, man. I don't know if it was. I mean, I'm sure for the people in the UK, it definitely was a good thing for that market and people living in it.
The minute fucking that Robert Zemeckis flatlines, dude, Back to the Future reboot is happening.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Oh, you're definitely right.
Like, fucking, he's got to live then.
Paul's like, make sure that man's healthy. Live. That's the only reason it hasn't been done yet, and you know it. Yeah, so on March 17, it made its way back to you. Let's see. No, that's fine. Fuck that. That just
editorial fucking on the spot editorial. Just nope, not doing that part.
I just had the same thing over again.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Kubrick was fucking brilliant. We've done a whole episode on fucking Kubrick. Everyone could go check that out. I don't know if it's Patreon or private, but it's somewhere.
And here's my dumb ass forgot to show you the images.
Oh, shit. You fucking suck so bad, Scott. You lame motherfucker. You lame, Scotty.
Okay, that's what the editor do, man. Editor's gonna fix it.
Fix it in post, y'all.
Yeah,
fix it in fucking
post. Why the fuck not, dude? That's what having editors for.
Edit that shit, motherfucker.
That's true.
Look, I made a fucking mistake. Just go ahead and fix that shit.
Fix that bullshit, Mr. Editor Man. Please.
Now, teacher, we're going to find out weirdest laws.
All right,
every
cool.
state.
Dope. You know what I hate about these weirdest laws lists? And I don't mean to fucking steal any thunder off this list or whatever, but like usually these laws are not like actually enforced. I mean, it's still funny that they're on the books, but you know.
I mean, technically it's banned or it's illegal, but you're right. A lot of these things are probably not strictly enforced.
Like if you did this shit, like the police, like you could do this shit right in front of a cop and be like, you know, hey, I'm fucking eating a fucking orange sherbet on Tuesday in the town of Marsboro or some shit. And, you know, it's like.
Example. And Paul probably did this too, because he would go down to Seattle. I lived in Washington. I've been down there a number of times, like to the downtown Seattle area. There's a park next to it's like the gum wall place, like a Pike Place market.
Yeah.
And people go out there and smoke weed all the time, and there's cops there. They don't give a fuck. I mean, technically it's a fine. They can't arrest you, but it's a fine for doing it in public. And there's like one cop there that enforces it. And pretty much all the other ones are like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I never got bothered. I would just take fat fucking 1 ounce joints all over the place, walking around, just smoking out in front of place. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a
Literally,
shit.
no one gives a shit. They give more of a shit if you were like, "Hey, I'm smoking weed." Like, tell someone who gives a fuck.
Yeah. If I was smoking a cigarette, they probably would have been more offended, to be honest with you. Ugh.
That's dangerous. You need to be 15 feet from the building. That's a joint. It's like, yeah, you're good. So, guys, pick a state. Pick any state. I'm not gonna go through the whole list, but pick a state.
Texas.
Kansas.
I heard
Did we
Texas
just say Kansas?
I said Texas. You said Kansas.
Okay, we both picked an
Texas
ass.
is closer, so we're gonna do that one first. No ice cream on cherry pie. What the fuck, dude?
Damn. That's bullshit, dude. What?
So it says Kansas. Kansans don't mess around with cherry pie. At one point, it was illegal in the state to top a slice of cherry pie with a scoop of ice cream. What?
No cherry pie a la mode in fucking Kansas?
According to the Kansas Secretary of State, it's unclear how this law originated or whether it's technically still on the books, but fortunately for dessert lovers, it's not enforced. So, of course, like TJ said, not enforced. Now, we said Texas. Hey, how is this fucking banned? This is saying you can get married by proxy.
It's just the weirdest. How do you get married by proxy?
So here we have one in Nevada. No lying down on the sidewalk. I mean, it is called the sidewalk.
Yeah, this is common fucking sense right here. There's gum and cum, and especially in Vegas, dude. You don't want to know what's been dribbled on the sidewalks in Vegas.
Now it's good old down Louisiana boy.
Lay down.
Tyranny of this state, dude. Bar wrestling is prohibited. You can't wrestle a bar? You tell me you can't wrestle a bar?
Are there even any bars in Louisiana?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's bears?
Yeah.
Bears over here?
Yeah.
I don't know no bar, but I know about a bar. Next time you're looking for an adrenaline rush in Louisiana, which is right now, maybe avoid wrestling a bear. Louisiana law states that individuals involved in bear wrestling matches, defined as a match or contest between one or more persons and a bear for the purpose of fighting or engaging in a physical altercation, are guilty of bear wrestling.
What the fuck, bro?
Can't fucking bear wrestle.
Is freedom even free?
Guys, I have a confession to make. I didn't realize this was illegal, and I've been involved in an underground racket for the last 2 years.
Hey, psst, psst. All right, editor, cut that out. We don't need to fucking.
Seriously, stop.
Scotty, what the fuck, dude?
I'm sorry, guys. I want to tell somebody.
Yeah, don't tell the whole
snitches.
fucking audience, you dumbass. Jesus.
Sit in the court and be your own
Right.
star witness.
Pick another one. Unless you already picked it.
I'm gonna say Vermont.
Oh, man, this one's probably going to be like, you have to praise Bernie Sanders or some shit. I don't know. You can't forbid people from putting up clotheslines. It's illegal in Vermont to prohibit clotheslines. The law forbids regulations that prohibit.
So Vermont is so fucking awesome that the only thing they prohibited is prohibiting something that shouldn't be prohibited.
In my view, TJ, every person in this state is entitled to hang up their clothes on a clothesline.
Wow. So that means some dumbass like local town or something fucking did some prohibition and then the whole state was like, no, prohibiting that is against the law here.
No clothes died.
That's awesome. Vermont's cool. Bernie Sanders and the fucking best weird law.
How about
New Mexico?
Yeah.
New Mexico! Do New Mexico!
Idiots can't vote. Oh, man. So
What?
New Mexico has like 10 votes a year then?
Wait, what?
For over a century, New Mexico law stipulated that, quote, idiots were ineligible to vote. In 2016, the discriminatory language, which referred to mentally disabled people, was finally repealed.
Aw.
Man,
I was about to say New Mexico might be my favorite state, but then I guess they repealed it, so fuck them. I guess the idiots figured out some way to vote after all.
Well, TJ, I mean, you should be happy. In that state, you would have been banned from voting. But I guess that would have made it easier for you. Like,
Yeah.
voting idiots are banned.
They don't have to deal with any of this fucking electoral politics bullshit. They don't have to fucking have some kind of like dilemma or conundrum. Like, whoa, am I reinforcing the system if I participate? But what about Don't have to worry about any of that. It's like, I'm an idiot. I'm not even allowed to vote. Ooh, what's this state? It's illegal to be pregnant? I like it.
It's a crime to have more than one illegitimate child. I'm guessing it was. Mississippi once passed a law stipulating that any person who has already had an illegitimate child and again becomes the parent of an illegitimate child within the state is guilty of a misdemeanor.
So Mississippi basically repealed this law when they realized that it would mean the entire population of the state was going away.
Yeah, basically the whole state is committed a misdemeanor, sir.
We're going to have to lock up the whole state from the governor on down. We keep this on the books.
It's true. Ohio. What was the tigers? Is it illegal to have tigers? Because I agree with that.
You're legally required to inform them of an exotic animal escaping. Nothing interesting.
That sucks, yeah. What is this?
Dude. TJ.
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
No marriage if you have a venereal disease. So, TJ, you would not be able to get married in Nebraska.
Damn. Fucking fascist Nebraska. What the fuck?
It's illegal to get married in Nebraska if you have a venereal disease, though courts and have later clarified that if the other person is aware of the disease at the time of marriage, then they can't try to annul the marriage later on these grounds. So there you go. So you can still get married and be like, hey, look, but they have to be informed.
Gotta have a fucking signed consent form.
I'm gonna do one more state. What's the final state?
Rhode Island. It's such a tiny state. I want to see what you can't do.
Biting off someone's thumb, or I don't know why I said thumb, limb, could earn you 20 years in prison. In Rhode Island, you can face up to 20 years in prison if you, quote, put out an eye, slit the nose, ear, or lip, or cut off, bite off, or disable any limb or member of another.
One wonders why such a specific law was needed in Rhode Island.
Yeah, you know, a lot of these laws, they need to tell you like what incident led to their creation. Yeah.
Because that's very specific. It leads me to believe that in Rhode Island there was some crazy shit going on at one point. And they had to be like, all right. People are biting each other's noses off in the street.
Like maybe there was like a serial nose biter offer that was just going around biting off people's noses, and they finally caught him and they're like, we're going to throw the book at you, you son of a bitch. And then they looked at like local statutes and like, according to this, we can only give him like 6 years for this. What the fuck? Dude needs at least 20. Let's pass a new law. So if this happens again, but it won't, because there's there's not too many serial nose biters out there.
Yeah, you're right. This next story is going to be hard for you guys to handle, I think.
I think at this point, people would be more scared of that than a serial killer.
It's like somebody biting your nose off.
Yeah, like if there was someone going around your town that was just like people's noses are getting bitten off, you know, all over the place, you're going to be fucking pretty goddamn on edge, you know?
You're going to want that guy to get at least 20 years. At least.
I'm just saying, if you hear that if you're like a killer's on the loose in your town, I mean, obviously you're worried and like that's concerning. But like if there's a fucking dude going around biting off noses, like, I don't know. I'm more apprehensive about that motherfucker.
I see.
You guys disagree?
No, I ain't worried about no one around my town.
I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of knowing whether I agree or disagree with that.
All right, fine.
I'm not giving you the fucking satisfaction, TJ.
You know what? You're a son of a bitch, because it really would be satisfying to know that opinion, but all right.
I know it would. You know what I'm going to do, though, instead? I'm going to take you to Rhode Island and bite your nose off and then fucking leave.
Well, you're going to jail for 20 years, bitch. 20 years. 20 years.
Think I give a fuck about jail, TJ? Look me in the eye, TJ.
All right.
Look me in the eye.
I'm looking.
You think I give a fuck about jail, TJ?
I mean, I can see looking in your eye that you don't.
See?
Yeah.
See?
I see.
Now, guys, this next story, I have to warn everyone that's listening and watching. Yeah, you guys here is probably one of the hardest stories I've ever had to pull in the history of DFF, Ryan. So just
What? Why?
I need a minute.
What?
I need a minute.
Sorry, guys. I know it's hard.
McDonald's ban. What?
Oh my god!
I can't even, Scotty. I can't even get past the first two words of this headline. What does the rest even say? I just can't get past McDonald's banned from site near ancient Roman baths.
It's hard to speak right now.
Dude,
McDonald's banned from site near ancient Roman baths.
that sucks. Because when I used to go to those ancient Roman baths, me and all my homies, after we'd fucking get done fucking having butt sex with Caligula or whatever, we'd go fucking stop by the McDonald's, get us some McDoubles, a bunch of fucking chicken McNuggets, you know? And now that motherfucker's closed. Sad to see. You know, first they closed the bathhouse, then they closed the fucking McDonald's. What's next?
I don't know, man. They've gone too fucking far, though.
So what's the fucking reason they're banning this? Does it like take away from the grandeur of the fucking place or some shit? Like, what's the fucking logic here?
McDonald's are all over the world. We all know that. But Italy's culture ministry has banned the chain from building yet another restaurant in the capital, Rome.
Okay.
The proposed restaurant would have been built next to the ancient baths of Caracalla, but plans were rejected. I already expressed my opposition to a fast food in the archaeological area of Caracalla, Terme, wrote cultural minister Alberto Bonsoli, I don't know, on Facebook. I inform you that the cultural ministry revoked authorization. And of course, the mayor of Rome, Virginia Raggi, praised the decision on Twitter. We go forward with the culture minister to stop fast food construction in the archaeological area of the baths of Caracalla. She wrote, the wonders of Rome must be protected.
I mean, how was a fucking Mickey D's going to hurt these fucking baths? They weren't going to build them on top of the goddamn baths. The Romans would have wanted a fucking Mickey D's near the baths if they could have had it.
Dude, can you imagine how fucking popular a fucking McDonald's would have been in fucking ancient Rome if you could have fucking opened such a place?
Dude.
It would have been huge. It would have been even bigger than it is now.
There would have been like the emperor himself would fucking want one of your goddamn cheeseburgers. What are these cheeseburgers of which you speak?
Yeah.
Dear God. Apollo or whatever the fuck.
100% all beef patty, sir. Topped with American. I guess Roman. Topped with Roman cheese.
Roman
Pickles.
cheese.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be American cheese.
Roman cheese. No, fuck it. It's American cheese. They don't need to know. What is an American? Don't worry about it. You don't need to know that.
You just want to eat this shit.
Just eat it, motherfucker.
I mean, I don't think humans are that much different than if there was a place with cheap, greasy food that they could eat quickly. It would have been a hidden
I
agent.
mean, think about what a revolution that was in fucking food. Like, food was always something you had to wait for. But now, just like, here's hot. You order hot food, you get it.
Beautiful.
What's the quality like? It's fucking pretty much disgusting, but we'll fucking load it with salt and all the stuff you like to fucking disguise that.
Dude, for them, just straight out McDonald's would have been like ambrosia.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it is to fucking me now.
That's what I'm saying. But like, think about to them.
I know. It would blow their fucking minds.
They were eating like unsalted boiled goat leg and like all kinds of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
shit. It would have blown their fucking tops to have a McDonald's. They would have loved it.
I need to do an episode on ancient food.
So let's see. What do the ancient Romans eat? I'm looking this up. I mean, well, Sky says he's going to do an episode on it, but whatever. I just want to fucking know a few dishes.
I'm going to go as deep as I'm going to go into it.
Yeah. Dinner meal. So this is what they ate for dinner, but accompanied by wine, usually well watered. So they'd water down the wine because obviously wine's fucking expensive or whatever.
Right.
The Latin poet Horace ate a meal of onions, porridge, and pancake. Who knows what a pancake is to them? An ordinary upper class dinner would include meat, vegetables, eggs, and fruit. Commissatio was the final wine course at dinner. Just today, the salad course may appear in different parts of the meal. So in ancient Rome, the lettuce and egg course would be served first as the appetizer or later. Not all eggs were hen's eggs. They could be smaller. Like, they had a bunch of eggs and bullshit. McDonald's would have blown their fucking minds, dude.
Yeah, dude, a Big Mac. Dude, you show one of these motherfuckers.
You probably have to
Big Mac
fucking
and
start.
like,
I mean, you'd honestly have to start these motherfuckers off with like a Happy Meal or something, because you couldn't fucking take their palate right to the fucking Big Mac, dude. That'd be too much too quick.
That'd break them.
You got to give them like a little kid, like here's a plain ass cheeseburger, because that alone they're gonna fucking freak out about. Like you got to fucking like,
dude, imagine you stepping up to the cheeseburger too. They're like, hey, you got a hamburger now, you're good.
yeah.
Now the cheeseburger, and they're like.
Just keep, it's going to take them a while.
I thought of eating cheese back then. That the kind of cheese they would have had that would just melt it in their fucking mouths, dude. That'd have been a fucking dream.
Man, just, you know what I think?
What?
Hot take. Look at this fucking place. Scroll up a little bit, Scotty.
Yeah, no problem.
Look at this old busted shit. Tear this down and make it a McDonald's. Fuck preserving it. Fuck banning a McDonald's being near it. Tear this old busted shit down. You think the Romans would want to look at their fucking city reduced to this? Come on. Let's get real with it. Tear this fucker down.
I got an even better idea. Fucking restore this son of a bitch. Bring back the fucking Roman bathhouse. Put a McDonald's right next to that shit like the Romans would have really wanted. So that fucking people can go have their fucking gay orgies in the bathhouse. And then go and fucking enjoy some goddamn cheeseburgers at the end of the fuck fest.
Turn the Coliseum into the world's biggest McDonald's right now.
Let's just let's make bathhouses great again.
Dude, instead of
America,
the Coliseum is big enough that you could just fucking have like every fast food place is fucking located. All the major fast food places are located around the Coliseum. Just call it the fucking grease ring or something, you know?
Yeah, you could rent a chariot to ride around and just get stuff at different places. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just like a giant food court.
You're not allowed to leave until you've gained at least 4 pounds.
Yep. They weigh you when you come in. It's like, all right, you got to weigh more than that when you leave, and we're going to fucking check your person. It's got to be inside you.
Yep. That sounds like the Rome I want to visit.
I've actually heard many gestures that Rome is making towards that vision, guys. I think this is a blip. They're gonna come around.
Every time they keep telling us like, man, fucking America's going the way of Rome. It's going the way of Rome. It's like, man, well then where's our fucking bathhouse? Where's our fucking Coliseum? Come on.
Take the cross off the fucking pinnacle of the Sistine Chapel and put the golden arches up on top of that bitch.
Hell yeah.
I'm loving it.
You think about like sitting down to have a nice little 2 cheeseburger meal in the fucking Sistine Chapel. I mean, come on.
Dude, that'd be fucking dope.
Despite this awful decision.
You know what?
Decision.
Sorry, Sky, I just had a revelation of my life, so I need to fucking Paul just let me know what I need to do in this fucking world.
Okay.
I need to go eat McDonald's at every fucking like wonder of the world. I need to go to the Sistine Chapel and eat McDonald's. I need to go to the fucking Louvre and eat McDonald's. I need to go to the fucking Niagara Falls and eat I just need to eat McDonald's every fucking place. Fucking Grand Canyon, McDonald's. Fucking summit of Mount Everest, McDonald's.
I support this.
Fucking whatever. Want to pay tribute to the greatest fucking company this world has ever known.
All right. Well, TJ, I like to see you do it, man.
You know what? I'm selling my Disney stock. I'm going all in on McDonald's, man. McDonald's till the end of fucking time.
It's a smart money.
People got to get fat, dude. And TJ, they've weathered this pandemic well. I think you'll make a lot of money buying a stock like that. Very wise decision, TJ.
Hell yeah. Let me go see how stupid this decision actually is. I'm pretty sure McDonald's is pretty much at its pinnacle at this point.
The Italian capital, TJ, has 40 McDonald's restaurants, according to Reuters, with outlets close to famous landmarks such as the Vatican. Well, the Catholic Church don't give a shit. And the Spanish Steps.
Mm-hmm.
And listen to this, TJ, right here. CNN has contacted McDonald's for comment, but has yet to receive a response. And listen to this. And McDonald's actually trying to do a public service here, guys. Rome has struggled to deal with the sheer number of visitors in recent years.
Let me tell you something. So McDonald's, for years, they tried to break into the fucking Indian market. When I was a kid, McDonald's had not broken into the Indian market. Because even though they weren't going to fucking do hamburgers there because of the sacredness of cows, they had the reputation of being, beef merchants around the world, India didn't want them. But McDonald's, they got in. And now there's fucking, I don't even know how many fucking McDonald's there are in India.
Like 1 million.
Like, it's insane now. Like, they're everywhere in India now.
1 million McDonald's. That's actually
1 million McDonald's. 1 million. 1 million fucking McDonald's in India alone. So you know what? You could try to keep McDonald's out, but McDonald's is getting in, all right? That's the fucking moral of the fucking story.
Weather's perfect for a camp out.
How about this, TJ?
11 video games that got banned and why.
And why? I can't replay? How could this
How could that wait a minute. You mean to tell me that the fucking squeaky clean, innocent, bland, inoffensive game that is Replay, somehow someone took issue with that? Like, I can't even imagine what fucking possible thing, what possible objection could even exist to that
really
G-rated fucking masterpiece, Replay.
So, many of the games on this list were banned, some because of cultural misunderstandings, but you really can't say that for Replay. This insanely controversial game, developed by a Japanese studio Illusion, was released in 2006. It almost immediately kicked off a firestorm of bad emotions. If you haven't heard of it, Replay puts you in the shoes of a sexual predator and tasks you with stalking and having sex with a mother and her 2 daughters by force. Needless to say, this is incredibly screwed up and not cool.
I don't see the what's the problem?
What's the issue?
What's the issue? Why was this banned?
Replay was banned in multiple countries after its release. It's illegal to sell in Argentina, Indonesia, and New Zealand.
Fascism.
Here in the States, it received an AO rating, which meant most retailers would not stock it, but you can still get it online.
Oh, good. Just making sure.
Oh, okay, well.
How's that spelled again? R-A-P.
I've already started my download, so.
Yeah, okay. I was just going to make sure.
Already fired up. How about Manhunt 2?
Yeah, I've heard, this is supposed to just be for like crazy levels of violence, right? Like it's like next level shit.
Manhunt was like, okay, so the first Manhunt was the first game I ever played where I felt like, okay, maybe they went a little over the top on the violence. Because it's basically a snuff film. It's like it's a movie a game where you're the victim of a crazy snuff film guy, right? And he's basically taken this whole town and cordoned it off and filled it with like gang members. Mm-hmm. And there's cameras everywhere, and it's your job to get him off by killing these gang members in the most brutal, violent, and disgusting, visceral ways that you can think of.
Whoa.
In front of the cameras. That's the whole game. So I don't know about the second one, but the first one was a true masterpiece.
So what's the second one about, Sky? Why is that how did that up the ante on that premise?
I'll just skip the first sentence because it doesn't add anything. The studio has courted controversy, I think about Rockstar Games, with Grand Theft Auto games to great success, but when it dipped its toe into the brutal world of snuff porn with the Manhunt games, the company got a little more than expected. The first game in the series saw government pushback in New Zealand and other nations, but the second, which amped up the gore and brutality to previously unseen levels, really got hammered. Manhunt 2 was refused classification in the UK, basically meaning it was too screwed up to even get a rating. Rockstar went back and added some graphical filters to obscure the gore, and the edited version was originally released there. It was banned from sale in Germany, Ireland, New Zealand, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia, as well as South Korea, which also banned the original, by the way.
Wow.
So in those countries, you can't fucking play Manhunt 2.
See, this is like
game. They're like, ooh, this is edgy. Second Manhunt game, they're like, it's not even coming out here.
Damn.
The dude in the first Manhunt, you eventually make your way into the building where the fucking guy is, and when you get to him, he's just this big, fat, disgusting neckbeard that you can tell he just sits around and jerks off all day. And it's real. And you get to kill him super brutally too. He doesn't even fight back. Like you get to him and he's like, "How did you?" He's just this big, fat, beardy fucking dude wearing no shirt, just sitting in there, getting off on the whole thing, and you get to kill him.
Damn.
Pretty good game.
This one I had no idea about, but Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. What a fucking mouthful.
Was it banned for being banal?
Could you get a longer title, please?
Mexico has never seen a nationwide ban on any specific video game, but one title got regional authorities so pissed off that they managed to forbid it from being sold. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 isn't just an insanely long title. It's also a well-reviewed tactical shooter. Unfortunately, the game's opening mission doesn't paint the city of Ciudad Juarez in such a good light. Your tactical team works with Mexican authorities to clear out guerrillas in the city streets, engaging in brutal firefights. The mayor of Juarez wasn't terribly popular with the video. The mayor of Juarez wasn't terribly popular with the video game, painting his city as unsafe, despite the rampant real-world drug violence there, and convinced the governor of Chihuahua to order the seizure of any copies of the game in the state and forbid it from being sold. So basically
Mexico got salty because it was a game about what was actually going on in Mexico, and they decided they were going to ban it. And I'm sure this company didn't even notice. I'm sure they were on track to sell maybe 10 or 12 fucking copies of this fucking game in Mexico anyway.
Oh, can't sell it in this one part of Mexico. Oh, shit. All right, that sucks. Is it allowed in Brazil? Oh, we're fine.
Fucking
Postal
Peruvians.
fucking 2.
What? Postal 2?
Yeah, Postal.
Many games push the envelope of bad taste, but none push it quite as hard as the Postal series. The long-running sandbox titles put you in the shoes of an ordinary Joe trying to run errands only to be driven into a violent homicidal rage, often by Gary Coleman. And the anarchic sense of humor is definitely acquired taste. The country of New Zealand, safe to say, never acquired it. Fucking New Zealand.
New Zealand is a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, they're fucking. See, that's why I was fucking saying, like, it was hard for me. They have so much good there, but then it's like they got all this fucking pussy censorship shit. So it's like, oh man, there's no way I could fucking work. There's no way I could work there. They're just a bunch of little crybabies.
New Zealand's ban on the game cites gross, abhorrent content, urination, high impact violence, animal cruelty, homophobia, racial and ethnic stereotypes as the reasoning. Let's be fair. All of those things are in the game. Hell, there's even a key bound to take. Whatever. The penalty for owning a copy is a fine of $1,400, which could buy you many better games. I'd say it's worth it, dude. $1,400 to own Postal 2. People in New Zealand, just go ahead and buy it.
I'm going to move to New Zealand and start selling bootleg copies of Postal 2 to these poor people. It's time. It's time they saw.
Psst. Hey, man, what you want? Let me get the Postal.
I got all the Postal games. I got all the Grand Theft Auto games.
I wonder if there's like a list somewhere of like games that are banned in New Zealand.
I believe there is.
But you can keep going with your stuff in the meantime. Oh yeah, I seen that's that fucking porn Atari game there.
I want to see videos for some of these. I didn't pull videos for all of them, but I did for Custer's Revenge because I mean, come on.
Because it's pixels.
Yeah, I mean it's not really. For nearly as long as there have been video games, people have been trying to make them into porn. Of course. One of the most notorious muddy games of all time is Custer's Revenge, which hit the Atari 2600 in 1982. Produced by Canoga Park, developer Mystique, a subsidiary of an adult movie company, the game cast the player as horny General Custer with a pixelated boner who had to walk across the screen through a hail of arrows to pork a Native American woman tied to a pole. Classy stuff, right? When the game was released, it sparked a moral panic, with anti-sex feminist Andrea Dworkin claiming it had, quote, generated many gang rapes of Native American women. Okay. Hyperbole there for sure.
I fucking probably did that.
No empirical data backs this up, but several cities floated laws to prevent the game's sale. Only one did, Oklahoma City, which fucked them. Oklahoma actually passed a measure making sales of Custer's Revenge illegal within city limits. Some pearl clutching bullshit if I've ever heard it, because this game, as we'll see in a little bit, it's not much of a game, if we're just being plainly honest.
So
this one
I
actually
have a
surprised
list
me.
of all the ones banned in just New Zealand.
Well, I gotta take a piss, so why don't you tell people why I'm doing
All right.
that?
So the first one that's banned in New Zealand is called Criminal Girls Invite Only, which I guess was
That one sounds hot.
It was banned because of sexual content and focuses on young persons and elements of sexual violence. Gal Gun Double Peace was banned because it tends to promote and support both the exploitation of children and young people and use of coercion to compel a person to submit to sexual conduct. So basically like rape and shit. Manhunt. Obviously, we just discussed why those Manhunt and Manhunt 2 are banned in New Zealand for similar reasons, just because of graphic depictions of violence and cruelty. Postal 2. Basically just a plethora of reasons. I guess urination. That doesn't really seem like a fucking good reason to censor something. High impact violence. I mean, whatever. Animal cruelty. They're not real animals. Homophobia, racial and ethnic stereotypes. Rape play, we already discussed. Reservoir Dogs, the game, is banned in New Zealand.
I didn't even know there was a Reservoir Dogs, the game.
Well, apparently it was a 2006 third-person shooter based on Reservoir Dogs, which is just a weird concept in the first place. Apparently it garnered mostly mediocre reviews and caused minor controversies for its violence when it was banned in Germany, Australia, and New Zealand.
What game are we talking about?
Reservoir Dogs, the game.
I didn't even know that existed.
Then the other two that are banned are Three Sisters Story, banned because it basically for rape shit. And then Valkyrie Drive, Bikihuni, some kind of weird word. Banned because it tends to promote incest between two lead focal sisters and the exploitation of young persons for sexual purposes.
Oh, the Japanese.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, most of these games that are banned, I would say the majority are either American games for violence or Japanese games for sex. So, take your pick.
I'll take both sex and violence, thank you. How about Pokemon, TJ? The Pokemon trading card game.
What? Why?
What kind of country
Oh, is it like
would see
gambling?
fit to ban something as innocuous as the Pokemon trading card game? Welcome to Saudi Arabia, folks.
Saudi Arabia. The
What a
most
shock.
progressive place on earth.
Yeah, I know. I'm so shocked. Don't you love it when like progressive countries like New Zealand and really oppressive, regressive countries like Saudi Arabia can come together and agree on censorship?
Horseshoe theory, I guess.
Beautiful thing. The heavily Muslim, I wouldn't say heavily Muslim. I would say almost absolutely by the state, you have to be Muslim. I mean, obviously not everyone is, but you have to lie for the most part. Middle Eastern nation issued an edict in 2001 banning both the electronic and physical versions of the games from import. Pikachu, the beloved electric Pokemon, and obviously the face of Pokemon, and his fellow pocket monsters were considered to be a threat to national security. Man, Pikachu right there does look like he's going to fucking pop some shit off. He's going to start a revolution.
Wow.
This is the dumbest one.
Saudi
Why?
Arabia
But
is
why?
stupid.
Dude, even like, I mean, like, I don't agree with any of these censorships of anything, but like, at least I can see a rationale for some of it. But like, this is just like, I mean, this is totally fucking harmless, man. There's just
Gentlemen,
no fucking
this is national security. This is national
that's just
security,
fucking-
gentlemen.
No, I mean, it's fucking crazy.
But why, TJ? Because the symbols used for energy in the games resemble the Star of David, which everyone knows is connected to international Zionism and is Israel's national emblem. Oh, no. And of course, promoting Zionism is a big no-no in the Middle Eastern, in many Middle Eastern states for obvious geopolitical reasons. It didn't matter to Saudi clerics that the resemblance was completely unintentional. Didn't matter. Oh,
I mean-
Star of David.
It's up to me. I think they got a right to protect themselves from this Jew shit. Personally, not to be off color or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the minute you said Jew, then I was on board with it. I didn't know it was about the Jews.
I don't want my kids playing that game no more neither. I didn't know there's Jew shit in it. Give me all your Pokemons.
Now, this one should be more obvious. I'm sure you guys have heard Grand Theft Auto before. I mean, who the fuck hasn't? But guys, people have argued many times, oh, video games don't cause violence. Let's hear about a little story that happened in Thailand. The GTA games have been the target of pushback all over the globe for their glorification of violence and mayhem. But only one country has taken the drastic step of banning every single title in the franchise. And that, gentleman, is Thailand. The country is not typically censorious of violence, although they do ban games with adult sexual content. Surprising. But Rockstar's cash cow is a special exception due to some real-life consequences. In 2008, a young man named Paul Wachino hailed a Bangkok taxi, and when it was time to pay for his ride, instead pulled out a knife and stabbed the driver to death.
Grand Theft
When the cops
Auto
picked
did
him
it.
up, Chino, of course, said, I'm sorry, officer. Grand Theft Auto is responsible for my violent actions, saying killing seemed easy in the game, and he needed the money to play it. And of course, many Thai people do not own their own consoles or computers and instead play at internet cafes. The government responded by outlawing all the GTA games in one fell swoop.
Damn.
Whoa. That's a
Dude,
fucking
one
pretty.
fucking dude. You can imagine that's one fucking dude ruined that game for that country. One asshole. It's like, damn, it seemed easy in the game, so I guess that's why I did it. All right,
Why doesn't Rockstar just rename it in Thailand and call it like Fried Rice Fiesta or something?
Fried Rice Fiesta, man. Dude, you fucking played Fried Rice Fiesta Rice City?
This is racist. Welcome to the most racist moment.
Oh my God, did you see this podcast? They were on there saying that Asians eat rice. That is offensive, you know what I'm saying? That is so offensive, you guys. Not all Asians eat rice. In fact, studies have shown that Asians do not consume much more rice than any other ethnic group.
I think that's wrong.
It is wrong.
do.
It is fucking wrong. Yeah, Asians eat rice. Fuck you.
I think they eat a lot more rice.
They eat more rice.
People.
I mean, hey, a lot of people eat rice. Fucking whatever. Asian people eat rice. Fucking fuck 'em.
What kind of rice do they eat, TJ?
What's that,
What kind of
Scotty?
rice do they eat? What kind of rice do they eat?
White rice, usually, I think. I don't know.
But what's another kind of rice they would eat?
They eat chicky fried
know.
rice.
Yeah.
Chicken fried rice, shrimp fried rice, pork fried rice,
Fried rice.
vegetable fried rice. Oh,
Not vegetable fried rice. What the fuck?
they
TJ?
do. They eat all kinds of fucking shit. Yeah, man, you don't always have meat.
Nah, dude. Pork fried rice, dude.
Pork fried rice.
Pork fried rice.
Okay, now we're starting to get.
It's getting racist. It's getting racist.
This episode has been banned.
This episode
has been. Hey guys.
I mean, the
just-
ban. It
just-
makes sense, right? The banned episode should be banned from fucking
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
I'm getting news right now from New Zealand. They actually have an advanced stream copy of this episode, and we've actually been banned in New Zealand.
Whoa.
All right, everybody. Well, we got to get banned everywhere else. Everybody, cams on, dicks out on YouTube right now. Come on.
Saudi Arabia, we got to do that.
Oh yeah.
Saudi Arabia's actually fine with the episode thus far.
Oh,
Oh.
they're just like whatever.
Yeah, they're not sweating us.
Your parody of stupid Americans is hilarious. It's not a parody. That's really
Shit.
us. Oh, even better, even funnier.
Great. So here's Command and Conquer Generals, which this was a surprising one for me because it doesn't really seem like the kind of game that would get banned. But hey, sometimes you piss off the wrong people. Game's content doesn't have to be outrageously sexual or violent to draw the ire of government censors. Sometimes all you have to do is blow up a country to get your game banned. Take Command and Conquer Generals, the real-time strategy game released by EA in 2006. The seventh installment in the long-running franchise lets players take command of either the United States, China, or a decentralized terrorist force attacking both. Making a play for the Asia market seems like a good idea, but it backfired a bit. You see, the game story mode starts off with a nuclear device being detonated in Beijing, followed by the destruction of the Three Gorges Dam, the site of the legendary Chinese landmark, pissed off the country's government so much that they issued a blanket ban on the entire series.
Damn. That's pretty harsh.
Yeah. Beijing got fucked up. China got fucked up. It's like it's heartland. So they're just like, or like, you know, what's this? The spiritual fucking heart of China. They're like, nope. This game is fucking banned. This series is fucking banned. I've heard about this one. You guys ever played Bully or heard about Bully?
I've heard of it.
Never played it.
Another Rockstar game, of course.
Yeah. A lot of those fucking Rockstars good at getting banned, huh?
Well, yeah, they are. While it's certainly logical that governments would have problems with anarchic GTA games, actually it's not. Or Manhunt's over-the-top carnage, no, it's not. What could be so awful about Bully? The company's classic 2000 tale of an English schoolboy trying to navigate the social structures of a boarding school. Well, you have to ask the government of Rio Grande do Sul, the southernmost province of Brazil, which brought the hammer down fully on Bully shortly after the game was released. Its argument was that setting the game in school would be potentially harmful to teenagers. A fine of 1,000 Brazil reals per day can be levied on anybody selling or even owning the game. It's brave of them. But Fortunately, I think 1,000 reals is worth like 3 cents. So they're fine.
MMA is banned? Who banned MMA?
EA Sports MMA. So here they have quick. What's the weirdest reason for banning a game you can think of? Wrong. This one's weirder. EA Sports MMA was the video game giant's 2010 attempt to cash in on the no-holds-barred fighting craze without getting the UFC license. It featured fighters from Strikeforce Promotion, as well as legends like Fedor Elmenansk. It shows you, I don't know how to fucking say Russian names. Nenko? I'm fucking butchering that. Randy Couture, and got decent reviews. Sales were poor, however, as without UFC name fans, didn't want to take the chance. So obviously they had no fucking big names. So it's like, I guess that actually does matter. If you can't fight with these big names, people don't want to buy it. So why was it banned in Denmark? Was it the brutal kicks and merciless chokes? Nope. It was the energy drinks.
What's going on with Paul? What's going on there?
What's wrong?
Nothing.
What do you got a problem with? You got an issue?
I have an issue. Just
you have an issue you want to bring up? You got a little anti-Semitism you want to get off your chest there, guy?
I guess not. So why was the MMA banned, Scotty?
Huh?
The energy drinks in the game.
The energy drinks in the game?
EA Sports MMA featured in-game advertisements for the caffeine and sugar concoctions before bouts, and that's against the law in the country.
What?
Rather than produce an alternative build of the game with those ads removed, EA just chose to let it be banned from sale instead.
You're just like, not worth it.
We're probably going to sell like fucking 10 of these in Denmark anyway. Fuck it.
Yeah, not enough MMA fans in Denmark, I guess.
I'm just making sure that our podcast is permanently banned in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Now, here's a game, which is the Guy game, that is actually banned in the USA. Very difficult to do. Very difficult to actually get something. Yes, this is banned in the USA.
What's banned in the USA? The Guy game?
Oh, I read ahead. I see what happened.
What would it take to get a game banned in the notoriously free speech United States? It's only happened once, and it wouldn't fault you for never having heard of 2004's The Guy Game. It was the only title ever made by the developers, Top Heavy Studios. And the Xbox version pulled in 47 on Metacritic. The game was a bog standard multiple choice trivia competition, but the hook was that as you answered questions correctly, you were rewarded with FMV footage of young men taking their shirts off, and then their boobies bounce free. Damn.
Sick.
Unfortunately for Top Heavy, one of those pairs of naked boobies belonged to a 17-year-old girl, and the company was now in violation of child pornography statutes.
Whoops.
The lawsuit quickly followed, with a judge in Travis County, Texas, issuing an edict forbidding additional copies to be sold. The game was quickly pulled from the market and forgotten.
Damn, I guess it was.
Check those IDs, man. Yeah, if you're gonna do one of these games.
Yeah, for come on. And like for a modeling thing, I mean, for sure, you gotta fucking make sure that shit's all in order.
I mean, come on. You made a video game, but you couldn't check an ID. You gotta make sure of this shit, man. You're not fucking around here.
I guess it wasn't worth it for them to just redo that part of the game with a different girl. So, oh well.
I'm assuming they didn't get the chance, considering they were guilty of child pornography statutes and shit.
Yeah, I think they wanted.
I'm assuming re-releasing that game was not in the cards after that legal action was taken. So this is a little Postal gameplay here.
Yeah, we're gonna look at these games and see why the fuck they got banned or why some countries ban them.
What are you talking about? If it was up your ass, you'd know. Hey, buddy, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
That's true.
Holy shit!
Oh, fuck. Yeah, blow him up.
We'll reclaim this holy land in the name of Allah. Prepare to die, infidels.
Okay.
Holy shit.
All right.
Faithful brethren, it's time to deliver.
Yeah, the Catholic Church is fighting back.
It's go time, you pajama-wearing pagans. You can't do that.
Pajama-wearing pagans. Oh, man, I miss Postal.
Postal 3. Postal 3.
I gotta pick up the new Postal, because there's a relatively new one.
Is there? I thought they were done.
Yeah. No, there's a relatively new one out.
Are they still this offensive? Because I like that.
I would imagine that they've remained this offensive.
It really wouldn't be a Postal if it wasn't, right? So
I mean, like the Arabic peoples are no longer the butt of most of the jokes, so it'll probably be like SJWs and shit in the newest Postal.
Oh, that's what they go after now.
I don't know. Guess we'll have to. I'm gonna go buy it tonight. I gotta play me some Postal. There's Custer's boner there.
Yeah, I was gonna like this one.
Boner.
Custer's boner. All right. Whoa. Can we even show this? Uh-oh, he's getting soft. Come on, Custer.
Dodge the arrows. Dodge the arrows. Dodge them.
Don't. You gotta fuck. Okay, thank God. Oh, those arrows. No, they're gonna hit you. They don't even seem like they do anything.
No, they don't. I think the whole point is to get to fuck the Indian. They don't want to get in the way of that.
Yeah, they're not trying to stop you. It's just a false threat.
Yeah, it's just showing you that Custer will run through a hail of arrows.
Look, nothing else happens in the game.
Look at the titties on this Indian chick, though.
Yeah,
That's
she's
some
stacked.
weird-looking
She looks
titties.
like a fucking ant.
Yeah, she.
He looks like a sea monkey, and she looks like an ant.
She looks like yeah, she's got a thorax.
Hair.
Yeah, I know. You really got
it.
Oh no, he got hit. I guess you can get hit.
Oh, he went limp, dude.
Yeah, he jumped out of his boots and his wiener went limp.
Oh man. Damn.
Wow. But he got to bang that Indian like 20 times though. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he wins in the end.
And now we're gonna show you the guy game.
Dude, we can't show the guy game because we're gonna be guilty of this. We'll be guilty of the same shit. How do you know this ain't the 17-year-old?
It's censored.
Oh, okay.
No, Pisces is a fish. Pisces is a fish. No, it's Libra. It's Libra. Now,
Libra?
You guys can shout out answers to each other. If you know, you can help each other out. Okay, here we go, Jacqueline. You got a question wrong on the guy game. Are you ready? Come on, let's hear some noise. Noise. Come on. I need some noise. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Wonderful. All right.
Wow.
This game is a masterpiece.
Man, I can't imagine being as hard up as you'd have to be.
Libra? Yeah, like what the fuck?
Oh, man.
He couldn't even use like Libra and shit. There's like a fucking shitty apartment fucking complex that's fucking back there, like some rich people
really
condos.
Trivia. It's like you're just betting if she's gonna get it right or wrong.
No. Pat. Yes.
What is your answer?
Walmart.
Correct answer?
Walmart.
You got that right. All right.
Oh, see that one you got gypped on.
Question coming on.
I think we go like, okay, here.
Yeah, this is the most desperate, like, if you're fucking wanking to this, it's the most desperate, sad wank in the history of fucking, jerking it, dude. I mean, this is fucking pathetic.
I mean, this guy that's in every shot of the titties is like the most boner-killing being that ever lived.
Yeah, you just fucking feel the fucking flop sweat radiating from his fucking being.
makes a rum and coke a Cuba Libre?
You can just like see the fucking Motel 6 fucking end table covered in dirty coke that he went back to after he got done with this to fucking flop and sleep for a night.
Dude, that secondary shot they have is awful, and they should not use it.
That's all right. That's all right.
I mean, this shot's terrible too. The light isn't even on him. I don't know, man. This game looks horrible. I can't imagine, like, there's no way, like, it's so fucking crass and lame that there's no way you could even get any titillation value out of it. So it's like, it's just dog shit.
We know what, dude, this is back in the day when you could sucker someone to buying a game based solely on, like, oh, look at the box. The titty on the box. It's like some titillating game.
Yeah, but, like, you also have to present the titties in an appealing manner, and this is just like...
You got to give me something to do other than just watch quick clips of chicks pulling their titties out, because like I can get that. I can go get a Girls Gone Wild video. I can, you know, come on, man. There's at what point is anybody picking this up?
I mean, number one, you don't need this doofus dude that put himself in it. Like, he shouldn't even be in it.
No, he's like I said, he's a boner killer, dude.
You need another hot chick asking the questions, and then they both flash you, dude.
Like, they didn't have the fucking horse sense to have that guy stand off to the side and not have him be part of the fucking shot. Because, like, I can't just, I can smell him. I can smell the fucking cheap cologne on him and shit. Like, I don't want, like, the Old Spice stink coming off of him and shit, and like that fake tan he had. Like, that's the least boner inducing thing I've ever seen.
I know, right?
What the fuck?
You guys know what these are?
Lawn darts.
Yep, those are banned.
Oh, yeah. TJ, I don't think me and you ever played with lawn darts. Did you ever?
No, I never had any.
I played with lawn
Paul.
darts when I was a kid.
Oh, shit. So you know all about them then, Paul.
Yep. It was just basically like darts, but you put the fucking bullseye on the ground.
Yeah.
That was it.
That is essentially it. If you're unfamiliar with lawn darts, or jarts, as they're sometimes known, it was a game developed in the mid-20th century in which weighted spikes were tossed into the air with the hopes of landing in a plastic circle placed in some distance away. It was essentially the same game as horseshoes or cornhole, only with metal spikes raining down from the sky instead
Cornhole.
of bean bags. Hey, Paul, isn't that your favorite game, though?
You guys want to play a game of cornhole?
So, TJ, there is a reason why you've never played lawn darts, dude. There's a reason I've never played lawn darts. Lawn darts were banned in America by the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission in 1988 for the severe damage that they presented. The ban was reissued in 1987, and people were urged again to destroy the game. Lawn darts, were the brainchild of the 1950s. Weren't the brainchild of the 1950s. A lot of people think they were invented in the 50s. In fact, they have a much older history, and you'll see why, because they're actually modeled after a weapon. And this is the weapon here.
Whoa.
The root of lawn darts don't come from the popular bar game they're named after. Instead, their history can be found in ancient Greece and the Roman war weapon called a plumbata, which is featured here. Thought to have originated around 500 BCE, plumbata were basically the same thing as lawn darts, weighted spikes thrown from a distance with the intention of landing somewhere soft. They were even thrown in the same way. Needless to say, the ancient Romans weren't aiming for a plastic circle. Despite being a literal weapon of war, toy manufacturers believed they would make an excellent family lawn game and began production of them in the 1950s.
I mean, that makes sense. Why not? You know? I mean, like, who the fuck looks at that and thinks, like, there's no fucking... we could trust children around these.
Of course.
Because basically, like, you know, a bunch of people, like, kids throw these at each other. Kids would stab each other with this shit. You know?
Oh, well, I mean, no doubt. I mean, of course, adults playing it, they're going to go, let's play a family fun game. The minute the adults get bored with that shit and you give a couple kids lawn darts, they're going to throw them at each other. And, of course, it didn't take long before the dark side of lawn darts reared its ugly, pierced head. This is just showing basically what a lawn dart would do if it hit you in the head.
Nice.
Doesn't look too bad. Lawn dart injuries
dumbass
happen.
is standing down like by the bullseye of the fucking lawn dart.
I'm right here. Well, you'll actually learn, Paul, and we'll find out that sometimes I'm sure was the case, but not always the case. So these injuries happened, of course, over the next decades. The danger became so apparent that the Consumer Product Safety Commission first banned them in 1970. The manufacturers challenged the ban, and a compromise was reached wherein the lawn darts could no longer be marketed or sold as toys or in toy stores. So it's like, hey, we're only going to sell it to adults, right? The commission ruled that every pack must contain the following warning: not a toy for use by children, may cause serious or fatal injury. Read instructions carefully. Keep out of reach of children. Unfortunately, this did little to stem the tide of injuries, and as more information came out about that, an even worse picture appeared. So people thought kids got hurt with this, but it was very infrequent. For this guy, as you guys can read the caption there, he was not so lucky. His daughter was in fact killed by a lawn dart. David Snow, an aerospace engineer from Riverside, California, wasn't even looking for lawn darts when he went shopping for party games in April 1987. He wanted a volleyball set, but all the department store had was a volleyball in combo pack with 2 other games. He didn't really care. He just wanted volleyball. He bought it. He set up the volleyball net, and he left the rest in a box in his garage. And that probably would normally have been the end of it, but didn't work out that way. One Sunday afternoon, not long after, his 9-year-old son and some of his neighborhood friends found the jarts and began tossing them around in Snow's backyard. One kid tossed his jart too far and too high, sailing over the backyard fence and into the front yard, where Snow's daughter, 7-year-old Michelle, was playing with her dolls. The jart came down right on her head, and with what researchers estimate as 23 pounds of pressure per square inch, penetrated her skull. She collapsed, was rushed to the hospital, and pronounced clinically dead 3 days later. There's actually a sanitized version because this guy did a thing on 60 Minutes. And actually, his daughter ran into the garage where he was basically at, hit a table there, and went into a coma. And basically, the last time she was conscious was in the arms of her parents. So it's a horrible story. For weeks after, the Snows were overcome with grief. When David returned to work at Hughes Aircraft, he had a hard time adjusting. He sat in meetings, listened to his coworkers talk about work things, part shortages, budgets, personnel issues, but didn't really seem to matter that much anymore. His sadness gave way to anger, and he began a crusade. I want to get these damn darts, he told the Los Angeles Times at the time. These things killed my child. If I don't do anything, it's just a matter of time before someone else gets killed. I'm going to get them off the market, whatever it takes. Let's see.
I feel like
crazy.
I don't feel like lawn darts should be necessarily banned, but I don't think that they should be. I feel like if you're gonna sell them, you need to fucking be honest about what they are. Like, this is some kind of weird weapon shit. Because we don't ban actual weapons, so it doesn't make sense to ban. I just don't think it should be sold as this is a fucking party game for the whole family or some shit.
The problem with it was, and I'll tell you what it was, and you're right. If it had been regulated to say, hey, you got to be over 18 to buy these things, and these are not for kids, and they were sold in that manner, it makes sense to me. The reason they got banned is because the way they were sold was basically they were marketed to kids. And kids obviously have no business with these fucking things. And as we go on,
what's next? You're going to ban a rock? Oh, a kid threw a rock over a fence and killed a kid with it. No more rocks now. What else?
Yeah, let's ban rocks.
Some kid drowned in a puddle from a leaky garden hose. Well, no more garden hoses, I guess. We'll all be living in caves again pretty soon. And then they'll ban the caves because cave-ins happen. And we'll all be naked and alone, living out in the fucking middle of nowhere, not able to pick anything up for the danger factor.
Yeah.
And then our fucking stupid ass, dumb ass ban everything because we're too dumb to fucking watch our kids' species. will finally meet the end that it has coming to it. Naked, afraid, having banned everything cool and fun in the world.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
think
the last human being will be killed by the last lawn dart. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I mean, were lawn darts really all that cool in the first place?
They are now, though. That's the thing. Now that they're banned, I want to play some fucking lawn darts.
See, I told you about this. This is what I'm talking about.
And the reality is, Paul is an adult that really
you should be able to.
For you.
I played lawn darts when I was a kid, and we would throw them once or twice and get bored with it, and we'd be like, okay, let's go do something else.
I mean, this guy's story is very tragic, and I can see why it really resonated with people. But at the same time, it's really a fact of it. One of his son's dumbass friends was totally irresponsible with it. That doesn't mean like that it should necessarily just be in the hands of kids, but he was.
Dude, maybe a lawn dart hit Scotty in the head.
Lawn dart hit Scotty. Scotty's dead. No, the fucking the thing about the lawn dart thing is though, like he was using it irresponsibly. He was using it irresponsibly because there was no fucking there was nothing in the marketing or any like the way the product this was being treated to like even denote that you should be cautious with it. I mean, I guess if you're a human being with a brain, you should realize that like a giant stabbing implement that's like thrown through the air probably has a certain danger factor to it.
Label on the product.
Whoa!
But it wasn't obvious. Well, wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you back to the present? No.
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to just come back?
Yeah, you might want to
No, you're fine now.
I don't know.
I'm good.
Not.
I don't know. It seems like you're on a delay. So like if I say 1, 2.
Yeah, I heard you say 1, 2.
Yeah, but you responded like way after I said it.
All right, I'll.
You might want to just leave.
I'm gonna just come back.
Yeah.
But the point I was going to make to you though was they knew about the dangers of this stuff, and at the same time they were pretty much still being marketed to kids. Like there was rules that said this has to be in the sporting goods aisle. This can't be marketed towards children, and they were still doing that. Most of those manufacturers were all of them 14 were found to be guilty of still marketing towards kids, even though they'd had a settlement with the.
Well, you're gone again.
Scotty died again.
Oh no, Scotty died. He survived the first dart, so another dart fucking appeared out of the void. Okay. And fucking killed it. Oh man, we got through so much.
Yeah, we did.
And now it's fucking happening. The lawn darts are fucking attacking us. It's fucking brutal.
Brutal.
Dude.
Fucking episode's just depressing me anyway.
Yeah, you don't like all the stuff that gets banned?
Everything cool gets banned.
But in some way, doesn't that just kind of highlight what's cool?
I guess, but
I mean, like if nothing was banned, then nothing would feel dangerous, and it wouldn't be as cool. I feel like there has to be a pushback to something for it to achieve true coolness.
I don't need that shit.
There has to be someone out there trying to fucking stop it.
I don't need that shit, dude.
You don't need it.
No,
I don't know that I need it, but I think it adds a little.
You guys hear me now?
Je ne sais quoi. Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Hope I don't get fucking lawn darted yet again. I completely shut down and restarted Discord. And let's continue on here. To Snow, Michelle's death proved the regulation didn't protect kids. It didn't matter they were sold as an adult game. If darts were in a home and children were allowed to play with them or could get access to them still, he thought accidents would happen. Well, he wanted the ban back in place and began lobbying public officials with phone calls and letters telling his story.
See, that goes too far. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's the old you gotta suffer so that my kids can be parented fucking shit.
I mean, because like the kids could do this with a knife or any number of fucking things. I mean,
if I didn't get to benefit from the orgasm that made that kid, I don't want to have to do anything for that kid. That's where I draw the line. How's that?
I think a big part of it was, and I think that lawn darts are definitely revealed to cause way more accidents than the industry admitted. But I think also, too, the sense I got from watching the guy's story is that this is how he was trying to cope with his daughter's death. Like, he couldn't prevent the death. There's nothing he can do to change that. But if he thought if he could ban it, that was somehow, like, oh, well, this will never happen to anyone again. They'll never be in my
that's
shoes.
all well and good as far as his personal story goes. But at the end of the day, like, I don't feel like your personal tragedy gives you the right to go like fucking make sweeping changes in other people's lives.
It has become my life's duty to make sure that no other stupid parent who can't watch their own children can leave around a weapon anymore. I shall dedicate my life to making sure that you, as an adult, can't buy something so that my dumbass can pop out too many kids for me to watch.
Fuck you, Mr. Snow, and fuck your lawn dart-headed fucking daughter, too. How about that? How about them apples, bitch?
Paul's pissed, dude.
Raise your own fucking kids, dude. Give me my lawn darts. Raise your own children. It's not my job.
They still have them, Paul. They're just weighted now. They're different.
Oh, good.
Still buy them.
They're weighted.
They've become lame. They've got like
now.
a big fucking they got like a big fucking styrofoam tip.
Oh yeah,
it's no fun.
Yeah.
No fun anymore. All the coolness is out of it. It doesn't stick down into the lawn like it used to. Fuck these people.
When Snow brought his complaints to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the CPSC, they told him their injury clearinghouse, which makes national estimates of injuries caused by products based on sampling of hospital emergency room reports from around the country, only knew of some 24 injuries from lawn darts. A complete bad couldn't be justified by that. Snow asked them to check their stats again. So we go by the numbers here. The commission, which had already come under fire from parents and consumer groups for their lax regulation and high-profile injury from ATVs and other products, went along with his suggestion. So it's like some moralizing shit. In other words, like, let's look into it. This is potentially something. But the investigation did find some unfairness to it. During the new investigation, they separated lawn dart injuries from all their dart-related injuries, and for the first time, found that dart injuries had been lost in their figures. Over a period of 8 years, darts had sent 6,100 people to the emergency room. 81% of those cases involved children, 15 or younger, and half of those were 10 or younger.
How many people did bicycles send to the emergency room? I bet it was more than lawn darts.
Almost certainly. The majority of injuries were to the head, face, ears, eyes or ears, and many led to permanent injury or disability. Lawn darts had also killed 2 other children, a 4-year-old and a 13-year-old.
Yeah, I feel like you just put this out there. Like, consumers should fucking know, like, yeah, there's danger. This product's dangerous. That's it. Like, you don't need a ban. Just, like, informed consent. Okay, here's what it does. Here's what the fucking problems are. Here's what's happened in the past. If you don't use it responsibly, do you want it or not? Seems reasonable to me.
Well, I think a big reason, too, was the industry itself failed to really adapt to the regulations they agreed to, though. When the commission collected 21 different lawn dart sets from 14 manufacturers, they've also found that most were not complying with warning requirements. A survey of 53 retailers likewise found that many weren't following the regulation, and a third of the stores, lawn darts were displayed in the toy departments or with toys or sporting equipment intended for kids.
See, that's just stupidity on the lawn dart people's, because how hard is it to put a fucking slap a warning on your shit? Come on.
They obviously just felt like we're going to sell, like, we're not going to make enough money selling these if we can't fucking market it like this. So they're just going to fucking flout whatever. Like, so that's why, they're the ones that failed. Honestly, you could have fucking just, like, sell those little crappy lawn darts with the fucking blunt tips to the fucking stupid kids, and then sell real lawn darts to fucking adults who still fucking give a shit about lawn darts for some reason.
Like me.
Yeah.
I'm a new lawn dart aficionado, but I can't get one.
Get your lawn dart. I think you can buy them still, right? I don't know.
No, you can buy the blunted tip ones, TJ.
Let's see. Lawn darts. Give me them.
Yeah, you can still get them. It's still possible. It's difficult to buy the actual ones, though, because if you try to sell them on a website, they will ban you from the site because it is banned in the U.S. The commission met with the commission met with lawn dart makers and distributors and struck a new agreement on improved labeling and retail practices. The commission published a new safety warning for lawn darts and scheduled a vote for an outright ban later in the year. Of course, I'm sure you guys are know what this is from. This is Mr. Smith, of course, goes to Washington. And that was a big thing. It was Mr. Snow goes to Washington was the title of the CNN story. The week of the vote, Snow went back to Washington, D.C. to lobby the commission and get press for his cause. He gave interview to consumer reporters from TV stations and newspapers. He met with President Reagan's assistant for consumer affairs. Finally, he had a meeting with each of the 3 consumer product safety commissioners. By the time they voted, Snow felt confident that at least 2 of the commissioners were on his side. And ultimately, he was right. He did sway the commission in his favor.
Jarts.
The Jart, TJ. Look at him.
It sounds like a fucking variation of a fart more than it sounds like a variation on dart.
Yeah. Does sound like something that would happen if you farted in your diaper and some poop came out, you know?
Yeah. Or like if a shart is a fart that shit comes out, maybe a fucking jart is a fart where jizz comes out. You know?
Nice.
Like you just got fucked in the ass and then you like fart and some little jizz bubble pops out of your ass, you know?
And now,
It's
dude,
jart.
here's a moment if you're conspiracy minded.
Yeah.
That maybe there's some there. And of course he was right. As an 11-year-old girl in Tennessee lay in a coma from a lawn dart injury earlier that week, the commission voted 2-1 in favor of a ban. Where was this guy? Was this guy in Tennessee? We don't know. Nobody knows. Lawn darts were removed from stores the week before Christmas in 1988 and banned from further sale.
Or as we kids back in the 80s called it, Black Christmas. The Christmas where Christmas died.
All the kids just wanted those lawn darts, and then the fucking
It was renamed briefly in the 80s to No Funmas.
Yep. Because I mean,
everybody got a fistful of cotton for Christmas.
Lawn darts were the only thing. I mean, that was the only toy that even fucking was even a little bit fun in the 80s, and they took it away.
That was it.
That's it. That's basically all you had.
Lawn darts and slip and slides, and they banned those too.
Banned them both. No more slip and slide. No more lawn dart. Got nothing.
Well, the ban did not, Paul. Some good news, however, include a recall of darts that had already been purchased. So the ones you had, those are still legal to own.
The ones I had.
You had. Unfortunately, you no longer have them. The commission sent out a press release pleading for the public to destroy their darts or keep them out of reach of kids.
Please destroy your lawn darts before
the commission
before they destroy us all.
Completely and totally. So, yep. Can't get them anymore, guys.
Was there a special commission to plead with people to keep fucking knives out of the reach of children too, or do we not need a special commission for that little piece of common motherfucking sense? What is this shit?
Well, Paul, there actually is a commission on it right now.
There's a commission on like, oh, please keep the knives in a drawer where the kids can't get to it.
Yes.
I'm glad there's a commission on that, man.
There's a commission on that.
I'd really like to keep slicing things with my knife. You know, it is nice to have a knife around. So I'm hoping that we don't have to ban them so that little Susie Wilkins doesn't get a cut on her finger. Excuse me, Senator. My daughter got a boo-boo from a knife. Time to ban these destructive instruments of death once and for all.
Paul, we see you have a knife on you. Is your knife license in order, Paul?
My stupid son, when left unattended, scooped his eyeball out with a spoon, he did. We need to ban him. No more sipping soup with your spoons for you adults.
Fuck these people.
It takes a village to raise a child, so you can't watch The Exorcist. You can't play no video games, no lawn darts.
Just like fuck me, man. What else I got to sacrifice so that you can fucking procreate?
All of it, Paul.
Every last thing. As long as I get to own my AR-15 part, they can ban whatever.
Paul, go ahead. Here's what you do. I want you to make a list of things you enjoy. And then I just want you to look at it. And it's the same list of all the things that they're going to ban.
An ever-receding list, Paul. Dude, if you want to make a list like that, just watch that shit recede slowly but surely. Like
my list is only 3 things long, man: sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That's all got to go.
All bad, all horrible for you. Drugs, don't even get me started on sex. Never. Rock and roll, that's the devil's music. That is all I have for you guys as far as shit that's been
more. More, Scotty, more.
Actually, you've been banned.
Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried.